Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and I've been wanting to do this video for such a long time. These are my favorite foundations at the moment. Some of them are like at the moment, and some of them are of all time, which is kind of the same thing. I wanted to make this sort of like a 2018 favorites, but there's just, I couldn't help it. So in this box, I'm gonna be sharing with you my all-time favorite foundations. Some are new, some are my old, like holy grail foundations. And I can't wait to dig into this. Before we get into this video, please make sure to subscribe to my channel if you guys have been coming back and forth. And if you want to see more videos like this, I'm going to be sharing all of my tips and favorite products that are going to be coming up very, very soon. So the first foundation that I'm going to be picking out of this box is actually my standout foundation for the year. It blew me away. I love it. It's always in my kit. It does not leave my kit. It does not leave my kit. This is the DIOR Backstage Face and Body Foundation. So not only does this come in an amazing range of shades and undertones. Undertones is very important to me, and this foundation has it. But it's a beautiful, I'm gonna say this in a very positive way. It's a very basic foundation. So it works for oily skin, it works for dry skin. It's all about how you prep your skin before you use it. So my standout point with this foundation is the undertones. They make beautiful, beautiful undertones. This shade range in particular stood out to me. This is the WO range, which is warm olive. So they make 1WO, 2WO, 3WO, 4WO, and the undertones are perfect. The way you work with this foundation is what's amazing. You can use it very sheer, like a tinted moisturizer. You can build it up. It has beautiful coverage. It always looks natural. I can't say enough positive things about this, so you guys need to try it if you haven't. And the bottle is so ideal for a makeup artist. It's a squeeze tube. It's not too big. So yeah, this is my pick for all skin types. DIOR Backstage Face and Body Foundation. Beautiful. Love it. The next foundation is a foundation that I've used so many times, and it's one of my top foundations. It is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Stick Foundation. So what I love about this foundation is that it really does look like skin once you buff it into the skin. It has amazing coverage. It looks a bit dewy. It looks very skin-like. I love using this with a brush and buffing it in with a brush. I don't like to use it any other way. And surprisingly, this is a foundation that I hear a lot of comments about. Some people find it a bit too heavy. They find that it gets a bit patchy or like separates. But the key is to use a brush and really like work it into the foundation and then buff it into the skin. Work in very thin layers and build it up. I've never had problems with this. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I used it on all skin types. It's just, again, how you prep the skin, how you powder it after if you're a bit oily, because this tends to be more for the drier, normal side. But I've used it on oily skin and it works beautifully. And of course, Makeup Forever make amazing colors and undertones. They have a great shade range, so you can find your shade with them. And this is definitely in my top 5 foundations. By the way, this photographs so beautifully. It really is one of the foundations that I can rely on for flash photography, for events. It looks flawless. I mean, it's made for the camera, which is... The next foundation is a drugstore foundation, and I've heard so many good things about this online, so I had to pick it up and try it out for myself. And it is the Maybelline Matte and Poreless. It is the Fit Me foundation. This is a beautiful foundation. So the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless foundation is the standout foundation for me because it feels very thin. It controls oil beautifully. It has an amazing texture on the skin, great colors, and it feels lightweight. It really is easy to blend, and I really enjoyed using this. It feels very high-end. It's very comparable to a lot of matte foundations that I've used, the liquid ones. And it was definitely worth the buzz because I really wanted to try it so I can recommend more affordable foundations to you guys and to try it out for myself, obviously, because why not? We always need really, really good foundations. And for oily skin, for us to find foundation that's quite thin in texture, but to cover up all the stuff we want to cover up and to give us a very flawless finish, it's great. The next foundation I'm going to talk about is a foundation for dry skin. This is the Mercier Silk Cream Moisturizing Photo Edition Foundation. So good. Mercier makes some really great foundations, and this is a standout to me because it is made for dry skin. It really glides on the skin. It has beautiful coverage. It leaves your skin looking dewy but not greasy, beautiful shade range, and it is a standout product for me for dry skin, and it does say photo edition, so of course it's going to photograph beautifully, which is always a plus. We're always looking for foundations that look good in real life and in photos as well. The way I've used this is I've buffed it in with a brush, and again, that's how I always like to use my foundations. Working in very thin layers, it really does glide on top of the skin, so That's an amazing one. The next foundation I really love because of the colors. The finish is beautiful. I feel like a lot of skin types can wear this foundation, and it is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. Okay, so the Too Faced Born This Way foundation says it is undetectable, medium to full coverage foundation. It's really good. Again, you can work with it, you can sheer it out, you can build it up. The colors are amazing. You have super light colors to very, very dark. And Jackie Aina helped develop the shade extension for this, so I love it even more. I love Jackie Aina. Jackie, I love you. So yeah, it's one of those solid foundations. There's nothing bad to say about this. If you're looking for an everyday foundation, this is it. You're gonna find your color. You're gonna love the finish. If you're looking for a bit more of a dewy finish, I would suggest maybe something else like the Laura Mercier. But I'm sure you can add liquid highlight to this, or maybe drops of oil if you're into that. I don't do that, but if you're into like mixing your foundations, you could. Amazing, great, perfect. This is also one of the foundations that I find works really great with the Beauty Blender as well. Not all of the foundations that I like, I mean, I don't like to apply them with the Beauty Blender, but this one works beautifully with the Beauty Blender and with a foundation brush buffed into the skin. For this next foundation, every time I use this, skin looks better. This is the NARS Sheer Glow Foundation. I love this foundation so much. I mean, I love all of them, but I love this foundation so much. Sheer Glow foundation is not sheer. Let me just say that. It is not. I don't know who named this, but it's not a sheer foundation. It's a beautiful medium coverage foundation. It works on so many different skin types. I mean, if you're super oily, I would stay away from this. But I mean, again, it's all about how you prep your skin. I don't want to say this doesn't work on oily skin because I've used it on so many different skin types. My foundations are a bit all over the place, so I'm just gonna put one here for display, not an extravagant display, and one in my hands to like hold and demonstrate. Again, NARS make amazing colors. I think they make one of the best undertones and colors for foundations, for concealers. They really do nail it for me. Everyone complains this doesn't have a pump. I think you can buy one, I'm not sure, but a lot of people use the MAC pump on this. But I think they did make a pump now, pretty sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say about this. I've used it with a Beauty Blender, I've used it with a foundation brush. It's not overly glowy like it says, it just looks like healthy skin. It covers everything you need to cover. Works beautifully with their concealers, obviously. I think their concealers work with everything, pretty much. So yeah, to me, this is the best foundation that NARS makes. If you want to pick up a NARS foundation, this should be it. The next foundation is also sort of a glow foundation, and this is one of my all-time favorites. They all are. This is the Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. Oh, I love this. It is one of those foundations that just didn't let me down. It was the first, I think one of the first high-end foundations that I got for my kit. What's unique about this is I feel like they've nailed sort of that glow foundation, but it does have a velvet finish at the same time. It's so weird. The shade number 6 is a standout shade. It has that olive undertone. It's a bit of that olive green undertone, which I know sounds weird, but we need that. We've needed a color like this in the region. And yeah, I love this foundation. Maybe not for super oily skin, but take a sample, try it. For a high-end foundation, this would definitely be one of my top picks. For a bit of a twist, I'm gonna pull out a product that isn't a foundation, but I would use this as a foundation for every day, and it is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. First of all, this is one of my favorite concealers. Second of all, we need the full shade range in the Middle East. We don't have them yet. I know there are more colors in the States. So a lot of my friends do use this as a foundation in a way that you don't wear foundation, you just put this in areas that you would need. And it's so thin, it spreads beautifully, it covers what you need to cover, it brightens your face. I would definitely use this as a foundation, sort of, for every day. It's beautiful. I mean, honestly, I haven't tried a concealer like this. It really does feel so thin. It's so thin, and it covers, and it brightens, it just makes you look like you've slept. So just a bit of this all over the face, no foundation, and maybe powder or blot where you need to blot, and you're good to go, trust me. This makes a beautiful everyday foundation. Oh, and it definitely works for all skin types. Dry, oily, combination, stand out. The last foundation I'm going to talk about is an iconic foundation. It's become an iconic foundation, and it is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r foundation, of course. I had to talk about this, come on. This is a foundation that's perfect for oily skin, in my opinion. This is perfect for oily skin. You can wear this if you're normal, combination, obviously. I would stay away from this if you're dry, flaky. If you're dry and you really moisturize heavily and you do enjoy a very matte look, if that's your preference, then try this. But I would save this for normal skin, oily skin, combination skin. It's a beautiful foundation. It feels very thin. It's the way you work with it. It works beautifully with a sponge, with a brush buffed into the skin. An amazing amazing shade range. I mean, what can I say? This foundation really put diversity on the map. Everyone started creating 40 shades after this foundation. Everyone became inclusive. I mean, almost everyone. But this foundation really did start a beautiful trend in beauty, if I want to call it a trend, because honestly, a lot of companies have been trying to aim for this standard. So this is amazing. Congratulations, Fenty. And that's gonna be how I end this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and had a bit of a glimpse of my top favorite foundations at the moment. And if you want to see more of these videos, leave me a comment below. Let me know what favorites you want to see from me next, so I can get around to filming that. And don't forget to subscribe, leave me a comment, and thumbs up the video, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye.